All right, all right, all right, all right, all right. Shalom, shalom, and shalom, Sister Deborah, coming with an awesome message. I hope everybody is having a good afternoon, maybe even a great lunch. Sister Deborah is just coming to bring me in a little something, something, because I was in one study and I end up in another. And am I grateful? Yes, I am. That Yah see fit that He could take me one area, swing me to another one, and still yet bring me back to the same area or the same topic in which He took me from to take me to this word that I'm about to bring forth. This word is talking about, have you ever experienced the chastising of Yah? Can you actually say that you have experienced the chastising of the Most High Yah? Many people have no idea how important it is to receive the chastising of the Most High Yah. It is so important because it allows us to know that we are not perfect. We don't know it all. We don't have it all. And that to receive a chastisement or a chastising from He that created all things on the earth, I call it truly, truly a blessing. Just imagine having a creator even wanting to chastise you, even desiring to chastise to get you where He wants you to be. I learned so much in such little time. In one study, He pulls me over in this study and then takes me back to that study. So I believe that one there, the first one He gave me, I'm going to do a lesson at 8 p.m. Central Time. But I say unto you, have you ever felt the chastising of the Most High Yah? Many will step back from that question because many will say no. And it doesn't mean nothing bad, but it definitely means something's good. Let me say that again. Have anybody ever felt the chastising of the Most High Yah? Have anybody felt the chastising of the Most High Yah? Again, it is truly what one calls a blessing. The blessing come in when you think of the one that had all power, is all knowing, that created the heavens and the earth, see fit to chastise you according to His order. He see fit that I'm going to chastise you because I care so much for you. I want to correct you in this area or in this area. I want to bring order in you in this area, in that area. And the question again, have you ever actually felt the chastising of the Most High Yah? And let me tell y'all, it's not something you can say with your mouth or think in your mind or quick to say it out of your flesh. It is actually a feeling that comes with it. Oh, yes. Many people have no idea of that. That's why they quick to say, He chastised me, He disciplined me. How do He chastise you and discipline you? See, I can ask the hard question, yet they the easy questions. I can ask the hard questions, and yet they the easy questions. Because my next step is, what do it feel like? hmm hmm When the Most High Yah corrects you, or chastise you, or chastising you, what do it feel like? Mm. So I say unto you, it is truly a blessing. And nope, you cannot detach the word blessing as chastising. No. To be to be chastised by he that created the heavens and the earth, that's truly a blessing. Want me to tell you how blessed one is? It speaks of how highly favored you are in his eyes. That he's willing to reach all the way low to chastise you for his name's sake. Mm, 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 mm. This is what makes it a blessing because he wants you to know right from wrong. He wants you to know what stand that he wants you to stand in, even if he has to correct you in what you think you standing in. Because most people think they got it made. I'm already sealed. Some people think they even have paid their way in with money. Oh yeah, people think they have paid their way into the bosom of the Father. So my question to you again: have you ever felt the chastising of the Most High Yah? Mm, 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 mm. I won't ask you again. What do it feel like? Mm. I can go on, but I want to magnify the chastising of the Most High Yah. It is a form of correction, discipline, admonished, warned. Now, take those things and apply them to how it felt when he chastised you, or while he is chastising you. The reason why I know it's a very powerful thing to teach this type of message because it will bring truly the hypocrites to the forefront. It will bring because everybody would claim it and they would name it. I've been chastised by the Most, not even knowing that this chastise is a chastise of the spirit. And once he's chastising you in the spirit realm, guess what? That chastising that he chastised your spirit from his spirit, he chastised your spirit, it rolls over to the realm of your flesh. The first and foremost, I want to let y'all know, he don't go chastising your flesh. Baby. He leave that up to your spirit to roll it over in your flesh. Because when he done with you, he chastising your spirit. What do you mean? He's correcting it. He's disciplining it. He's warning it. He's teaching it. That's that one that said, I'll come and I'll abide in you and you and me. He's saying his spirit in your spirit. So your spirit will have his spirit in your spirit. And when he finished chastising you from the realm of the spirit, now your spirit has to allow it to be rolled over to your flesh. It's called getting your flesh under the subjection to your spirit. Many people don't know what that's about. That's why I say people can name it and they can claim it. Everything come out of my mouth, people would claim it to the utmost, to the highest. But let's get into this lesson. I went into the book of Job. I went into Job chapter 5 and verse 17. I went all the way into Job chapter 5 and verse 17, and it says, behold, what are you saying to me, Job? Deborah, look. Okay, I hear you. Behold, happy is the man whom Yah corrected. Therefore, despise not thy chastising of the Almighty. Now we know who the Almighty is. Almighty is. That is the Most High Yah that sits on the throne that created the heavens and earth. Let's hear it again. Let's hear what Job is saying here in Job chapter 5 and verse 17. He said, behold, that means look, Deborah, look at this now, baby. Happy is a man, and he's not talking about male. He's talking about male and female. Happy is that human whom Yah correct. See, people, that's one thing that people won't own. They're own that they saved. They're own that they full of the Holy Spirit. They got the Ruach HaKodesh. They know they got a ticket to the kingdom. They know they're going to be ready when the rapture take place. They know that they going over to Mount Zion. But guess what? They can't tell you a time where they felt chastised by the Most High Yah. They can't even give a test. Do you know that's a testimony? That's what you call a testimony inside of a testimony. It's when Yah chastises, chasing you, to correct you, to teach you, to warn you, to discipline you. And he's saying, therefore, despise not the chastising and the correction that Yah put on us. Don't despise it. Despise thy chastising of the Almighty. We can't despise his correction. That's a part of chastising. So this is why I say that I can say, have you ever felt it? Have you ever felt it? Deborah, do you have to go there? Yes, I have to go there because I know what it feels like. So I'm gonna go there, okay? I know what it feels like to be chastised, corrected by the Ruach HaKodesh, many call the Holy Spirit. I know what it feels like. That's why I can bring you forth and try you by the same words that's in your study guide. And then turn around and try you by the word itself, which is the Most High God. See, people thinking the book that they study to show thyself approved, they think that's the word because they have no idea. No, baby, the word is the Father, the same one on the throne that corrects you, that chastises you. That's the word, because he chastises you and correct you by the word within him. He don't chastise you and correct you by the Bible, the King James Version, the 1611, and all these lost books and found books and Enoch book. No. That's why I say a lot of people will say, yeah, I felt his correction. I know what it feels like. It's so easy for the flesh to check that box. I've experienced it. I know what it feels like. But the truth be told is what I'm saying now. The correction, the instruction, the discipline, the admonished, and the warning of the Most High Yah come in chastising you. And it starts from the spirit. He has to discipline you and chastise you from his spirit to your spirit. Then your spirit has to turn it over to your flesh and get it under the subjection to the chastising that your spirit received of the Father. I'm gonna take this a little deep this morning because I'm gonna go on and take it there. Okay. So here Job is talking about it's a happy thing, it's a good thing. Just like I said at the beginning, it's a blessing to be chastised by the Most High God. Many people would never in their living experience that. I know it, they'll claim it and name it. You know how they say go to a car dealer, put your hand on it, pray on it, claim it and name it, and it's yours. Well, that's how the mindset of the flesh is. Is that all things is so easy because you got the power to claim it and name it, now it's yours. But I, Sister Deborah, come to you by the word of God, and not by the book of words, but by the word of God. That's why I can pull up and turn around and take it a little deeper when I say, have you ever been chastised by the Most High, y'all? And if so, what it feel like? What it feel like? Because it comes with a feeling. See, most people didn't know that. It comes with a real feeling. Okay. So here I go into Psalms. When I stepped into Psalms, I realized that that same question that I put upon people, they're not going to be able to answer it. They're not going to be able to stand in that gap of being chastised by the Most High God. Because when I come up with this here Psalms 94 and verse 12, I'm in the book of Psalms, chapter 94, and I'm hitting you with verse 12. Now, when we enter in here, I'm going to pull it out so you can spiritually see it. If you can't spiritually see it, I'm going to break it in a parable so you can't help but get it, okay? So I'm going to break it all down so you can't help but get it. A lot of times when Yah is sending his servants to bring his word, the word is powerful and greater than a two-edged sword. It is not a two-edged sword like I once thought it was. No, it ain't saying that. It said it's greater than a two-edged sword. Because see, when you holding a two-edged sword, you swing it, you bound to hit somebody. Why? Because it's sharp on both ends. So no matter how you swing that sword, somebody gonna get hit, stabbed. You see? When Yah wants y'all to know that he's greater, his word is greater than a two-edged sword. Yes, you had it wrong, and it's okay. You'll live through it. So here in Psalms chapter 94, in verse 12, it reads, blessed. There it is. There it is. I told you guys that it is a blessing to be chastised, correct, by the Most High God. And with me, myself, I can hold it in a form of a testimony. One of my testimonies. Not one, I can hold it in many testimonies of my testimonies. The correction of Yah is that which one is blessed to receive. So when I ask you, have you received the chastising, the correction of Yah himself? Many of you all will say, yeah, but then I turn around and ask you, I say unto you, no, I don't ask you, I tell you, the correction first starts in the spirit. And if he's correcting you in the spirit, he has to be in you to correct your spirit. That's the only way he said he rumbled with you. He only rumbled with that vessel. It's when that vessel is right there near him, where he abides. He abides in you and you abide in him. You are a vessel. Your body is a vessel. So he's inside, not your flesh, but inside of your spirit where he abides. So if he's going to chastise you and discipline you, he has to discipline you and chastise you from the level of the spirit. I know. You ain't going to find that being taught to you. especially in such a midnight hour as we are in this day. No church will ever preach that to you. They can't. And we can't hold them liable too. Because Yah said greater is he that is in the individual. And just because you want to put everybody on these platforms and all in these churches, these bishops, these priests, these popes, you want to put everybody on the highest pedal, you go right ahead. Just because you put them there don't mean the creator put them there. Most likely 99.9 he didn't. You just want to follow. Okay? So in Psalms 94, chapter 94 of the book of Psalms, verse 12, blessed is the man whom thou chastises, oh yeah, and teaches him out of thy law. Now, the reason why I find this to be such a powerful message for a powerful individual, I'm going to say it like that. I'm going to go and lay that out like that. The reason why I find this message to be a powerful message for a powerful person, for a powerful individual who Yah is dealing with in this midnight hour, is because what I just read, everybody in the live chat and those that's sitting in what I call the brick wall out there, now one of you will be able to comprehend Psalms 94 and verse 12. So I'm going to break it down in the realm of the spirit, and then I'm going to swing it in the flesh. It says in Psalms 94 and verse 12, blessed. So we know that this type of blessed is not coming from the earth. It is coming from he that sits on the throne. It's his spirit that blesses us. The Father himself. Hear him. Hear what is being said. Blessed is the man whom thou chasest. Wait a minute, Father. Why are you chasing him? Why are you chastising him, Father? Why are you going after him, Father? Deborah, I'm going after him because he's blessed. Oh. Oh. So only the blessed you go after? Yes. I only go after those that are blessed. Because those are the ones that I chastise. Those are the ones that I chasten, Deborah. Those are the ones I correct, Deborah. Those are the ones that I discipline, Deborah. Those are the ones that I warn, Deborah. So yes, blessed is the man whom I chasten. Oh yeah, this is David. He said, oh yeah, and teaches him out of thy law. Now I'm going to take you a place, and I know I'm going to go straight over your head with this because I know you have to be strictly in the spirit to understand. You have to be one that where the Holy Spirit reside in you to get this. And it's a sad thing. Yes, it is. It's a sad thing because so many people are so rooted in knowing everything from A to Z. They think they in all these different groups, these different organizations, these different religions, these different platforms, and they lost with the cause and without because they can read, but they can't really perceive what they are actually reading. That's why he said, sit your tails down. Study to just show yourself. I pull up with right because he is righteous. And I rightly divide the word of truth. You see? But see, nobody didn't want that because they don't understand what that really means. That what I'm reading, you mean it has to be? Yes. It has to be divided so that you can understand the part that the spiritual is saying to your spirit. See, he didn't say this thing come by you reading. He didn't say this thing come by you studying. He said this thing come by you hearing. And he didn't say with 2 ears. He said with 1. Why? Because it's a spiritual hearing. When you hear his spirit in you speak to your spirit, that's the ear he's speaking to. From his spirit to your spirit, when he say and you read, he that has an ear, let him hear, that's what he means. If you got that spiritual ear and I'm in you, hear what I'm saying with that one ear, not ears, but that one ear, let it hear. So here in Psalms 94 and verse 12, it's informing Sister Deborah, but Deborah, those that are blessed, I chasten them. I correct them, Deborah. I instruct them, Deborah. I discipline them, Deborah. I admonish them, Deborah. I warn them, Deborah. Only the ones that is blessed. So you have to first take that blessed to not be blessed because you got a house and you got money and you got a car and you got a couple of big screen TVs. I mean, you are one that is not wanting for anything. That's not blessed, baby. That's having the desires of the flesh. See, that's why you don't understand. And I'm going to pour you over to what he means. Now, let's go there. It says here, oh, yeah, thy teachers. So he's letting me know to tell them, add teaching on there too, Deborah. Let them know I teaches out of not your law, not this world law, but out of the law of himself. See, people, there's two laws. There's a law for the flesh, and there is a law for the spirit. Right here in Psalms 94, verse 12, it has every last one of you all will lose the whole sight of what is being said. Why? Because you don't understand what is being said. You don't understand what the word blessed mean and what realm and what direction it's coming from. You don't understand him saying that not only do he chastise you, he also teaches. He's letting you know I'm that ruach that was promised to come in you and teach you all things. So is he telling you a book teaching you, or is he telling you he's teaching you? They don't know, Deborah. They don't know. See, people think this thing come by their own reading, but he told you don't read to teach nobody nothing. That's just for you to study yourself. Don't go studying and reading in no book thinking that's going to teach somebody something. Sit down and wait for right, which is righteous, to divide the word of truth. Now, one of you set your tails down long enough to receive it. And that's why all of you out here running like a chicken with its neck cut off, trying to find a place of comfort and cannot find. Everywhere everybody go, and it's a sad thing because people go from platforms to platforms, from platforms to church to church to church. But guess where they go? The biggest place they go is what was prophesied, a falling away. They go nowhere now. You know why? Everywhere they went wasn't nothing, no way. So where do they go? Where they at now? Nowhere. So it shows you it wasn't the places that you were going. It was always you. People say when I stopped going to all these churches. I stopped listening to all these churches and these people who saying Jesus Christ and these. What difference does it make? Where are you? Where do you stand? You see? And when you read Psalms 94 and verse 12, it's telling you that he teaches you out of his law. Do you know who his law is? No, you don't. Because you're so busy knowing the law of the flesh to where you don't know the law of the spirit. The law of the spirit was first and foremost. The law of the spirit is what will not end. Oh, tell them, Deborah, tell them. The law of the spirit has no ending to it. It's infinity. So what y'all playing on is the same thing all this crookedness on this earth is playing on. The law of the flesh. Let me give you another example. I was teaching a message last night, and I need you all to pick up your pen and your piece of paper if you have one. If you don't, that's fine. You normally come not having it prepared, no way. But that's identify your spirit. It's not prepared. It ain't that you come to platforms unprepared, unprepared, prepared. You're prepared from your spirit. So that's what you need to get right. Is your inner man. But I said something that was very powerful that would stick with me the rest of my living. I said something in a message yesterday, and I said that there is darkness in all these cases. And this Nolan Wells case, the Ruach had already warned me it's all darkness. And when he broke it all down to me, I'm like saying, Father, it is all darkness. It's all darkness. Why? Because it's about, and only thing people want it to be about is the law and justice. They want it to be all about the law was broken and there's no justice. There's no justice. They want justice because why? There's no justice. But the Ruach HaKodesh that lives in me has to teach me from that level for me to come out to the level speaking to you. See, the reason why they looking for justice is because they ain't gonna find it. Wherever you look for justice and you look for the law and there's no righteous, there's no justice. There's no law. Because that law and that justice is for the flesh. It has no righteous in the center that rules the table. See, in the center of the table, it must be righteous there. He said, when there's two or more joined together, I'm in the what? The midst. So when you see this chaos and these hangings and these murdering of people, there's no, you can't dare, you cannot dare look for justice. You can't use the law. Why? Because they showed you all these years injustice at its highest. And you all are looking for justice. You all are looking for justice. But you're looking for justice with no righteousness. If there's no righteousness, there's no just. See, people didn't know that. God got his own law. He don't have to abide by yours. He always had his own law. That law that y'all didn't want no part of. Well, guess what? He said in the end days, that which was in the dark shall come to the light. In when? In the end days. Tell them, Deborah. So that's what you heard from this sister. The end day, darkness, I'm bringing light out of it. And ain't nothing you can do about it. Because you know what? You stuck in darkness. You couldn't do nothing no way. So everybody looking for a system, the same system that's sending poison in your food, the same system that's putting poison in your air, the same system that's taking every penny you get before you even make an hour wedge. You get a check, they took it out all that they want out of it before you even get it. The same system that is poisoning all the vegetables because everybody was trying to eat healthy. Now they ain't gonna ever be able to eat healthy. So there go grace and mercy still sitting there saying, if you don't look to me, you go on look to them. And that's what people do 99% of the time. They look to the way of that which is injustice and does not have a law that they follow by and abide by. Because all these years, they knew that there was no righteousness. They knew in all these laws, in all these courtrooms, and all these places where you think the law is, there's no law and no just when there's no righteous in the center. Yeah. So when you get to Psalms 94 and verse 12, that's why it says, oh, yeah, you teaches him. out of thy law, because you all never understood, never learned, never will grip the fact that the law of Yah is just. The law of Yah is righteous. And you're seeking the world for just and righteous. And in this world, there's no righteous that stands in the middle of their law, nor their just. So what are you looking for? Justice in all the wrong places. I was telling them, if anything ever have to happen, I always look for Yah. That's the real law. That's the real just. That's the real righteousness. And I've told them more than once, when I know where righteous reside, the real just reside, and the real law stand firm and is the law. Oh, baby, don't let me drop these knees. I drop these knees and I go all the way to the throne. And when I have to drop these knees and go all the way to the throne, guess what? He always stands up and come down to see about me. So y'all is a bunch of people on this earth, and y'all think y'all got the game and gone, and you're lost with the cause and without. Here in Psalms 94 and verse 12, he telling you those that are blessed are those that he chases, that he disciplines, he corrects, he admonished, he warned, he instruct. Who? The blessed ones. So see, that's why you're doing everything you're doing and you're content. You feel like you got it made, and you do have it made in the flesh. But when that storm comes, and I need to stop saying it's coming. It's already here, but it's going to come to each and every one of you all's doors. You got to be tried by the fire to show your own self. He's going to let you see your ugly for really what it is, and that you never turned to anything that has to do with a creator that is spiritual. Everybody want to talk about, everybody trying to talk about this spiritual mess, but you want to talk about dark mess. All this darkness in this world, you want to be about all that. So let me be about what I know. Spirit, the spirit of he that created all things. Who you think you got created by? I know it's your mama and your daddy, right? That shows you how stupid so many of you all are. So I like what he said, and I'm going to pull away from Psalms 94 and verse 12, because it takes me into a total different message. Because when it's sealed, when David sealed it and said, oh yeah, you teaches him out of the law. Wait a minute. Is there a law that we don't know about? Always been, since the world been present. Always been. Yah from the kingdom have always had a law. And I love what David is saying, because truly this is my brother. And he's telling me, Deborah, check teaches. I'm looking at the word teaches, and then I'm looking at the word him out of thy law. Go Yah, go Yah, go Yah, go Yah. All right. That's a whole new message that carry a lot of power. And people today ain't ready, nowhere near that. They back in the days of Noah. You know, they ain't hearing it, nothing. They matching that day here today. They ain't hearing nothing that tells the truth of the real matter. They hearing all this other mess, because right there it tells you that the Creator teaches us, which are blessed. Woo! The ones he chastised and correct, he teaches us from his law. What law are you abiding by? I know they told you the law was the 10 Commandments. I know. They told you the law was the law of the land. I know. They told you that the law is just. The law is righteous. Well, why you can't find justice? If the law that you know of is all that answer, why you can't find just? Because there's no justice. Because you're looking for justice, and there's no just. Because just stands with righteous, and righteous stands with just. And that's one thing this country don't have, is righteous. And there's no way you get just without righteous sitting in the center of the table. So while you all talking about we gonna get justice, no, you'll never get justice. I told y'all this thing with this Nolan Wells case. I really, it bothers me to keep saying his name because his name is just one out of, oh man, like I say, since January you done had 70 that been lynched. Yeah, and way more than that been cut up and burnt, that been murdered. And this whole country has no righteous. And you riding on they righteous. And they have none. That's why you trying to find just. You don't find justice. Because this country don't have no righteous. So I like what David is saying, because David is saying to Sister Deborah and the whole wide world, whether they understand it or not, the Most High Yah teaches his from his law. So y'all gonna play in y'all's, because Yah teaches us from his law. So you gonna play in the one that the world has for you, because it seems like that's fitting for everybody on this earth. Now let me go into here. No one wants to understand the law of Yah, and you don't have to understand the law of Yah, because he teaches us who the blessed ones, who his servants, who he is by that law. Okay. So when I got to Proverbs 3, I enter into Proverbs 3, chapter 3. Proverbs chapter 3 and verse 11 and 12, it says, my son, despise not my chastising, oh Yah, neither be weary in his correction. So there again, Solomon saying, don't despise Yah's chastising, neither his correction. Why? Because you're blessed to receive that. So I, Sister Deborah, a prophetess in the wilderness, say I am truly blessed. So when I'm saying that all the time, that's another reason right there. I'm taught by him. He's my teacher. He chastises me. He disciplines me. He corrects me. He instructs me. He warned me. So why would I give all that to some old flesh of a man on this earth? You'll live a fool and die a fool thinking that that's the route it's supposed to go, because it's not. So here it says, my son, despise not the chastising of Yah, neither be weary of his correction. Now, why is David saying it in Psalms 94 and verse 12? Why is Job saying it in Job chapter 5 and verse 17? Now here goes Solomon saying it in Proverbs chapter 3, verse 12. Don't despise that. You blessed to receive that. You are appointed and anointed and predestined. You are blessed to have Yah chastising you. Verse 12. To whom Yah correct, even as a father, the son in whom he delight. Now I got to stop there. I had some issues with that. I had some real big issues with that. And the issue is not no one else, it's me. I have issues with that because here I am living in a time like no other, in the midnight hour, mean dark and evil. That's what midnight hour means. And this here is a verse that Solomon put out, and it makes me feel like he's talking to me. I know he's talking to me, matter of fact. A lot of people don't understand when Yah is speaking spirit and truth, and you can hear it in your study guide. It's not for you because you're reading it, because you're studying it, because you think you understand it from the standpoint of what you read. No, baby, this thing comes by hearing. And that means it has to be first applied to the spirit. Because the ear that he said, let him hear, is when you have Yah, Holy Spirit living in you. That's the ear to your spirit that causes you to hear. That's what that is. I know they told y'all your natural ears here. It ain't come by that type of hearing. That's why when they tell you this thing don't come by, it comes by hearing. The first thing the pastor them telling you, hearing the word from them. How can you hear if you hear a pastor? He's not saying that. He asks questions to see if your dumb tails can answer. That wasn't telling you this is the only route or this is the route. Y'all lied, and you're gonna continue to lie. But I believe in such a critical time that we're in, I think the lies is written in His will to be lied to. That's it. Because it's been too many years, y'all. And if people still living under the lie, leave them alone. Let them sit there. They're written in the Father's will to sit amongst lies, coming in and going out. That means they come down here to sit among lies. Let them sit there. Okay. So here go. Solomon said, "To whom the Most High corrects, even as a father the son in whom he delights." So, Solomon cannot break it. Go on, break it down, Deborah. I have a problem with that. Solomon can't tell me about the problem. Because I can climb on top of Solomon here. Oh, yes. Because Solomon was then, I'm now. Okay. Solomon day wasn't sealed as the worstest time period on the face of the earth. Where we at today is called that. Okay. So Solomon can't tell me what I'm about to say. But I thank Solomon for leaving this for me so I can climb on top of it for those that are of the spirit today. Solomon says, "For whom Yah corrects, even as a father the son in whom he delights." Well, right now, I'm boiling over. I'm boiling over. Because I've been on this devil platform 8 years teaching this, trying to teach people the purpose of a father is to train up the children in the way that they should go. The same identical thing that Solomon is telling you that the Most High does for those that he loved, that he blessed. Not love, but he said that he called blessed. The Father in the kingdom calling his blessed. And what is he doing? He's teaching them. He's correcting them. He's instructing them. He's using discipline to applying discipline, correction, chastising, teaching them, warning them, admonishing them. That's what the kingdom does for what is his sons. And I don't mean sons as male, but sons as the spiritual seeds that he sent down here. Now watch this. And then Solomon give us another example of how you have a worldly father. Even as a father, the son, as a father, the son in whom he delights. Fathers don't delight in their sons, y'all. You can take your life, your grandmother's life, and your great-great-grandmother's, if you had a chance to go back, and if you could have, and really heard the true stories, you realize it. This thing been messed up from the floor. It didn't get this worse today. This is a product of yesterday that has been lied about. People have lied about yesterday for so long, and I get so sick of that. Oh, back in our day, they didn't use a lie. They did worse. But what happened, he said, it was in the dark. That's why the Father wants y'all to know that which was in the dark shall come to the light in the last days. So what he's saying, that the product of yesterday made it this dark today. I'm going to pull some of that stuff out and bring it to the light. But the product that you see today that's in such a day and time as this, that's labeled to be the worstest time ever, it's a product of yesterday that was what? Hidden. Where was it hidden? In the dark, where everybody kept it. And still today don't want to speak about it. They want you to shut up talking spirit and truth. They want you to shut up talking life. You got people who even come around and listen to your video and be there year after year after year. They can be in and be out at the same time. This is showing you that Yah word is going to stand, even when everybody is kicking rocks and going. Ain't nobody going to get moved about it. Ain't nobody going to give up on what Yah has invested because people going to and fro. Because to me, I always said, I even said this among my own family with my mother and my sister and them. I said, they don't even know what type of light in the midst of them. I don't care if I go right here now and go to the mall. I still have that mind frame. These people don't even know what type of light in the midst of them. I still said it on this devil platform. You all come on here and look at me all cockeyed, and you don't even know what type of light y'all set in the midst of you to hear what the spirit has to say, not with the flesh. That's why you look at me cockeyed, because you think I'm coming from a realm of the flesh. No, I'm coming from a realm of the spirit. That's why you can't get it. Now here Solomon saying in Proverbs chapter 3 and verse 11 to 12, he's talking about how Yah corrects and discipline and chastising his sons. And then he turned around in verse 12 says, for whom Yah corrects. No, he said, for whom Yah he corrects. And that's what the Holy Spirit does. Yah corrects us. He don't want us being out here doing wrong, thinking wrong, feeling wrong, walking wrong, talking wrong, and acting wrong. So he corrects us. And then Solomon turned around and said, and as a father, the son in whom he delights. See, that's a lie. That's a lie. I can speak that's a lie today. I can't speak that's a lie for Solomon back yesterday, but I can because Solomon's brother raped his sister. And Solomon's brother tried to kill his daddy. Tried to kill David, one of David's sons. And this is Solomon's brother. So here, when he's saying that even a father, the son is whom he delight in. The one, because the father was always the key from the kingdom to bring discipline, chastising, correction, instruction, and teaching to the children. But Sister Deborah, if the spirit of the Most High said, well, what is it I see it, Deborah? I said, Father, that's not so. 65 years and I ain't seen that to be so. Now listen to what I'm saying. It was in my household. My mother and father had 7 children. I remember my daddy working, coming home, being a father. We had the same father. We had the same mama. We lived in a home, and we had it going on based on how the father had blessed us. He had blessed us to be able to have that. But can I sit and say to the father, when what I see it is that, oh, every father's in the household and taking care of their kids and doing what they're supposed to do? No, I'll be lying. So he wants me to tell the truth. He said, what's in your household? What your mother and father was, because I gave them you. So they had it right. But I ain't asking you that. I'm asking you, what do you see in this world? And what I'm seeing in this world is not a father that ever steered their children up. And I'm not talking about one nation. I'm talking about all nations. It's so much darkness behind it. It is off the chain. Everybody, I sit back and in my mental state, I say, Father, why is this world and people praising Will Smith? Will Smith done so much raping his son and all kind of abomination to his daughter, and this world magnify that man. And I put him there because that's what I saw yesterday in how I saw him again, and he was being exalted by this world. He's another key to darkness. Now, when I speak of the brown skinned people, I'm speaking of them because Yah sent me to them to be spirit and truth and the light among them, toward them. But when it come down to all nations, they beyond that. Judah might have let's say if we had to measure it, Judah might have 8. But in all these other nations, especially European, you got 90. For real. And y'all knows it. He sees it. He got it written in how he's going to deal with it. And he told you, excuse me, how he's going to deal with it. Do you care? No. But you want just. You're seeking justice. You want just with no righteous. They don't have no righteous, so how they going to give you just? Okay? So here I had an issue when Solomon had, it says that Solomon was saying, even as a father, a son, whom he delight, giving you the example of a natural father supposed to be to his son. Now, women, every one of you all out there, this is shows that you have been out of order. I'm gonna go and put us. We have been out of order. We have stepped out of the order of the protocol of the father. But the reason why the father gonna okay us to be okay about it, let me tell you why, is because we stepped in the order that the outer order never took on. So this is a prime example where Solomon is telling you that the father was liable for the correction of the children. The father was liable for the teaching of the children. The father was liable for the warning of the children. The father was liable for the discipline of the children. The father was liable for the admonished of the children. The father was the one that's supposed to bring chastising. The father was the one that's supposed to chasten his children. So that's why Solomon is pulling up a natural father. It's because he's sending me, not you. He's sending me, not you. He's sending me a message. See, Deborah, every time you've been teaching that about how the out of order everything is, and how the father never took their righteous position since the Garden of Eden, this is where it's at today. Never took his righteous position, but did took the dark position in the Garden of Eden. And here it says, in whom he delighted. It's showing you that it is the Father. Look at it. Proverbs chapter 3 and verse 12. How are you going to compare Yah with his sons, with the Father in the earth, with their children? It's because the heavens expected and sealed order for the Father to take on those same responsibilities to his children, as Yah has taken responsibility for his. Oh, Deborah, did you say that? Yes, I did. And we as women, we are out of order, but we in order. We're out of order and we're in order, but we in order. Our out of order is temporary. Our inner order is where Yah is not going to hold us blameless. Why? Because the outer order is when man stepped out of order and didn't recognize man stealing the identity and way how Yah created woman from the beginning as one that has the same level of dominion, the same level of rule as he did. They stole her identity. This is why you see the world in the condition that it's in, because they out of order. They've been out of order a long time ago. So this is why you don't see the order of the children. And the sick thing about women today, they don't understand that. But I understand why they don't understand it, because they are not the blessed ones. Only the blessed ones understand that the whole earth is out of order. Who order are they out of? The Most High Yah. He set a protocol in the beginning. And men took every protocol Yah set up out of order. And the women bowed down to it. The women honored the order of the flesh of men and have brought things to be what it is today. Now, when Solomon tells us here that as a father with his son, he was given the example of how Yah is with his sons. Now, just take the kingdom father, the creator, with his sons. Why is it the father? Where is mama? Where is mama? Because he said, Deborah, I have always placed the order, placed in protocol, because the seeds wasn't of the seed of a woman. That's why Mary's seed wasn't the seed of Joseph. Y'all say, I didn't need that mess. I didn't want Yeshua, which the world called Jesus, coming up, being born out of a sperm of a man. What is it y'all don't get? Because every seed of a man, y'all made man liable for. And even as we speak today, they still have not been liable. So I'm saying to Solomon, wait a minute, Solomon, I'm here today. He said, well, Deborah, I can't come on top of you because you here today. I was here. I wasn't there today. I was yesterday. Your day, Deborah, is worse than any day that ever took place in the face of the earth. And I ain't going to touch that, said Solomon. I don't blame you, Solomon. Don't touch it. Because you wouldn't want to be in it. You see? So here he's letting you know that the father had the liability. Why? But Father, why? It's because, Deborah, when I created man, I created all humans. That's why he had a whole lot of sperms. I created all of those. Those are humans. I put them in him. That's the seed. So why is it that he has all these sperms and have no liability for them? So that's what Solomon is talking about. He's telling every pastor, every priest, every apostle, every prophetess, every Maureen, every pope, everybody who think they something and they ain't. That never was it a woman's liability to raise up a child, to train up a child. Her liability was to nourish, comfort, assure. Man's liability was to teach, to correct, to discipline, to chastise, to chasten, to instruct, to warn, to make sure his sperm was fed as if he needed to be fed. These men today, they don't give a rat's behind. And this didn't start just today, y'all. It's just many people been lying about yesterday. And as time go on, you're starting to learn how people have lied about yesterday. Portrayed yesterday was all this and all that. The Father want me to tell you, use a lie from what you call hell. All yesterday is a product of why today is what it is. Hello. It's what you call that which was in the dark. The Father wants you to know that in the end days, he was planning on, like he has, bringing it to light. So when you hear a person like me talking the way I'm talking with all full boldness, look up the word trust in Hebrew. Trust holds a form of bold. Yah is sent his end day bold ones out to do what? To speak spirit and truth and the light, bringing light out of that which was dark. And he ain't looking for you to get it either. So correcting toward is a war. Today is a war for a mother to correct a teenager or child. Today, correct, as the Father speaks of correcting his, is a war. Discipline your children today is like a war. Instructing your children today is a war. Warning your children today is worthless. Chastising them and disciplining them is out of the question. First and foremost, Father ain't never been in their life to do now one of those things. You see, women, how you been out of order, but in order. Because in order means God is not going to hold you blameless. He ain't going to blame you for it. Because from the beginning, man stepped out of order. See, a lot of y'all thought because Adam, they told y'all that he let Eve. No, Adam didn't let Eve do nothing. Adam had already tampered with the garden, the tree of good and evil already. He just wanted Eve to do her part, to do it too. But Adam had already did it. They just lied to y'all, like they lied to y'all about everything. And you take your lying tales, teaching it and preaching it out of a lying situation, which you are lie from the pit of hell. Okay? So today, when you speak of correction and chastising, you can't tie the spiritual chastising, the spiritual correction and discipline and teacher and teaching, and you can't apply it because this flesh out here, these children, even as 5, 6, and 7, ain't letting you tell them nothing. And now they're adults and they don't have no type of understanding of themselves at all because it's been out of order. So whenever y'all see in there, it's in there a couple of times in your study guide, the whole earth is out of order. And no one ever taught it. No one will preach it. No one will teach it. You know why? They don't want you to know the truth. The fact is, man has brought this earth totally 100% out of the order from the beginning in Genesis chapter 1. They been took everything out of order. So this is where we're at. And that's why it's so out of order to where he finna bring order. Oh, I like that, Father. Yeah. Oh, you want me to tell you what bringing order is? The Father say, the end. See, y'all thought the end was just, oh, the beginning and the end. But baby, the end is his power. It's where he gonna throw up and throw down. He's gonna destroy. It's called the terrible day of Yah. He gonna throw down. See, a lot of people think it's gonna be Yeshua. No, it ain't. It's gonna be the Father himself. That's called the terrible day of Yah. And because you never learned that Yeshua wasn't the same as the Father. He came down here telling us how awesome and good the Father was. We came down here being stupid and reversing it because we don't want the route of the Spirit, because we so embedded in the route of the flesh. That's why you can't get justice, because there's no righteousness. You think justice and the law is good enough. Keep running your tail around here talking about the law, the law, the law. Baby, let me tell you something. The law of the world cannot override the law of the Spirit of who Yah is. He has his own law within himself. And now one of y'all tails, set your tails down. Seek him in a way that you would understand his law versus the world law. And you think you saved. You think you in there. You think you got spirit and truth. You think you the light. Let me tell you what you don't know. All that you done gave yourself to. You gave to yourself all that glory. And you still stuck on dark. You ain't past dark. You still there. Because Yeshua said, in that day, as the day it is today, when that day comes, spirit and truth gonna pull up. They're gonna be speaking spirit and truth. So if you wonder what kind of message I'm talking about, that's what I'm speaking. What was prophesied there will be in the end day. No, this is not the end day, in that day. Now we got an end day. And a lot of people don't know. They don't know Yeshua is gonna cut up from the floor, but then that one y'all call Alpha and Omega, Yeshua is not Alpha and Omega. See, I messed up y'all. Yeshua ain't never been Alpha and Omega. Yeshua ain't never been I am that I am, a higher. Yeshua ain't never been a higher. Yeshua can't compare to the terrible day of Yah. The terrible day of Yah is what's going to bring down God and Mega. I was woke up early this morning around my 2 something. I said, wait a minute now, Father. They don't know nothing about that. He said, maybe they don't need to know, Deborah. These people still looking for justice with no righteousness. So Sister Deborah, I'm going to pull out like I poured in. And I'm going to have a day on top of it. And I say unto you, I will be back at 8 p.m. Central Time. And I say to you all, have a wonderful day. Shalom and shalom.